There's a lot of things being said about the small ruminant industry. I don't think I'm no guru to think I know it all, but I can share some of my experiences and hopefully you would see a little bit through my eyes, or you can help contribute into this narrative or contribute to the conversation about where the small ruminant industry is and where we need to go. So I want to bring up a big problem I think we're facing right now, and that's the market space. I remember a couple years back, I remember JD Graham, right? He had a page called Livestock Jamaica. And I started mine after his, which was Jamaica Market Information, something like that. Jamaica Livestock Market Information, where I was just putting out information about different livestock sectors, and it was buzz. JD Graham Livestock Jamaica at that point was about posting animals for sale. So to me, kudos to JD Graham. He was one of the first guys out there. Even though it's not right to have animals being sold on Facebook, we had a system of showing our animals. Then everybody was there at that point. We had a issue, there was a big argument and it got split. We had the progressive came up because of that. The progressive split, which is Terence Johnson and King Curry at that point, right? During that time, people were saying, hey, the goat market now slow. And this is where I have to give kudos to King Curry. King Curry was our innovator or the marketing genius in selling animals. This guy would come with something, and me and Henry was talking about this the other day. The guy will come with a different style every week to sell goat. This man will come and say, hey, you have loan payment for goat. You know, you bring 20% or 10% up, and every month you pay him some money. King Curry come with a style where you could have just buy him a ton of feed. Can have goat on the farm to sell. King Curry start trade goat, buy goat from this man, fatten them, and he created a whole wave. And at that point, if you talk to the farmers at that time, they never have hand to sell goat because the energy, the competition and the drive and the styles the farmers were trying to use to innovate the sale of goats was at its peak. So I am happy that we move from a kind of rudimentary system and now we're bringing animals onto a platform and we show them and everybody talk about rehoming and doing pretty videos with songs or trying to make it funny. But that also have a cap. And I think that is where we are in the industry now, where we're at a cap. The industry has evolved. We have a lot more players. We have a lot more competition. And that makes the marketplace a little bit more difficult to maneuver, especially for young farmers. So my take to you guys is what's next on the table to drive innovation in our marketing of our animals. That's what we need to do. And I think where we are with the government freeing up imports and farmers bringing in expensive animals from overseas, it cannot be that we're going to be posting these $6,000, $10,000, $12,000 animals on Facebook, hoping to get and generate sales from the wider market. To me, it's just not where we're at. We need to upgrade the system. And this is what I propose. And I said this before. If you look at the guys' dog shows, it's outstanding. They go out there and they have their breed competition and farmer win competition, and it drive the general public, dog lovers, to that show, and they drive potential sales there. I can't see why the goat industry is not doing something very similar, especially at this point where we have farmers boasting that they have registered goats from overseas. Guys, I see guys spending $15,000 on one goat, and you still want to post that goat on Facebook for rehoming? No. We need to change the game, guys. We need to change our marketing tool. And that's where I think we're lacking in the industry, because the show goat, it is an avenue and a sector for itself. It has to be separated and treated in such a manner, right? If you look at the US, I see farmers out here the whole day them online watching goat auction, watching how much them sell that goat for. Why is it that we don't have a very similar system? And I'm not saying we must copy and paste. We can create our own model of showcasing goats to generate sales, to generate the new entrants who want to come in. they can have a proper market, a channel that is regulated and that seem very transparent, that they can go there and have confidence in purchasing goat. Because a lot of these other factors is what influencing the sale of goat. A man don't trust you. Guys call me all the time, Khalil, who's the best person to buy a goat from? Because I've been scammed, or a man say, I'm going to sell me a purebred, and that's it. So I understand that. But also we need to now implement the systems to make the market or our business seem secured and valid. And that's where I have a problem now. I think we've been waiting too long for the registry. And to be honest, I'm not blaming the government. I honestly feel it's not the government job to put a registry in place. I honestly feel that we as the farmers who heavily invest in this sector should be the one to set up this registration system, and then we ask the government to come in and regulate it. They're supposed to come in and say, no, that's not going to work for the general public, because we need these things in place to ensure that what you guys are saying is true to the consumer. That's how I feel. And I tell you guys before, you have a website called www.easykeeper.com. And Jamaica don't need Jamaica don't need nothing more than an easykeeper.com, because for one, your own private login subscription to this platform, you put in your animals them, plus you put in if the animal is registered with the American Boer Goat Association, Canadian, whichever one you want to choose. And that app is already connected to their database, so they can verify if what you're saying is correct. So this is simply already a registration system. What we want now is just an appraisal team to go around and check offsprings and see if it makes sense. So we already have a database that costs $300 US for the year that can be used as a registration that we can verify, we can regulate, we can hold farmers accountable for what they put in that system. And we're still here waiting on a system from the government, which might not be priority for the government. The government have so much other things to do with their resources than to say, boy, the goat farmers, them want one database. Not saying that I don't think they care for us, but the reality is that goat farmers over persons in the health sector that is not being treated properly, we are on the backbench. And that's just the reality of the show. So that's it for me. And I need to call out some things for sure. I think the Small Ruminant Association should be the driver behind this. I can't see why they're not lobbying for this cause, why they're not fighting for this cause, and why they're not presenting this as a package to the farmers. And make we as the farmers decide, say, hey, we don't want that system, we are waiting for the government. Or, hey, let us fund this system because it makes sense. So that's my take. At this point, guys, we need to improve on our marketing channels and how we present ourselves in the segment, which require some investment into goat shows that make sense. It requires an investment into a system that let a client feel confident in purchasing a goat from a man, that what they're actually selling is what he's getting. And I think that can drive more sales. And again, we need to be very creative in how we sell our goats, just like what King Curry did back then. And I think we just need to get serious and get this registration system up and running, because if not, guys, we're fighting a losing battle. And that's just the truth. We need something regulated, something where a farmer can have in a database, and it just let the system be more transparent and clear. And I think that would just, even in the long term for our breeding program, if we're supposed to bring in a consultant geneticist, he could use this system to tell us, hey, if you really want a breeding plan for more milk or more that, this database can capture all that information and allow proper decision making with breeding and selection of our animals here locally. So that's it for me, guys. I hope we can agree to disagree, or you guys can agree with me. Please leave all your comments down in the comment box. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And thank you for being on our next episode with Let's Talk Agriculture with Farmer Khalil.